Suzuki first launched the GSX R600 some 10 years ago, and boy has this puppy come a long way over the past decade. Throughout those years, both on pro and amateur road racing circuits around the world, Suzuki engineers have used the racetrack as their primary platform for R&D. And as a result, this middleweight contender has been continually refined. Recently, the GSX R600 received the same upgrades as its big brother, the GSX R750, with under-the-tank engine tweaks promising broader power delivery, improved throttle response, lower emissions, and about 10% better in the fuel mileage category. There's also the new Suzuki Drive Mode Selector, which offers 2 pre-programmed engine maps with the push of a button. The baby Gixxer was also fitted with all-new big piston Showa suspension bits and a new trick racetrack-ready Brembo braking system. On paper, the bike looks fantastic. I mean, ready to rock. But how does it work out in the real world? Well, for that info, we asked former amateur road racer and longtime viewer Mark Russell to fill in the blanks.
So Mark, GSX R600, brand new sport bike. I know it's been a few years since you've been riding a sport bike. What was your first impression coming back to the brand?
I was amazed at how fast sport bikes are. I don't remember them being that fast. It's way beyond what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as the size of the bike for a 600cc sport bike, what did you think in terms of the first impression that way?
Well, that's a real new plus. This is a lot smaller than bikes were 5 or 10 years ago, and small is way better for a sport bike, and it's what I'm more familiar with. Mm-hmm. Really compact, really tight, comfortable enough to sit on, but I really appreciated the small size.
Right. So let's talk about the riding impression. You fired it up, and off we went. What did you think of the engine?
The sound sounds like an engine working, which is new as well, because 5 or 10 years ago these bikes were all so quiet you couldn't hear anything except the transmission.
Right.
And actually when you saw bikes like this on the track, that's about all you heard as well. And this actually has an exhaust sound. You can hear it inside the helmet. When you go through the gears and you rev it up, you can hear it and you feel like you're doing something.
Right.
Yeah.
So lots of power through the gears?
There's way more than anybody needs. This is a 600. I don't know what the horsepower is. It's more than anybody could possibly need. And the acceleration is just stunning. If you go from cruising along to downshift to gear 2 and open the throttle, it's practically frightening how much power comes in.
Right. How about the clutch and the shifting? How did you find that?
It's all pretty easy. You can upshift without the clutch. Clutch seemed to be necessary for downshifting. I fiddled around with the positioning of the shifter because I found that made a difference for comfort and fit, which was easy to do. You could use the tools in the seat and make adjustments that way.
Yeah. Brakes, Brembo brakes up front, plenty of stopping power, feel.
I'm sure you can stand it up on its front wheel with 2 fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm certain of that. Super good feel, good tire grip as well, so you can make use of all that brake. I have to confess, I didn't touch the back brake all day. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem necessary.
Right. Clearly this is built for single-purpose, racetrack ready. But let's talk about the riding position, because of course on the track, comfort really isn't a factor, but what about on the street?
I was comfortable riding around. I did notice on the street there's one place to sit, and that's right up on the tank. There's lots of room to move back, but you just slide forward. There's no point. On the track, you would push yourself back there and hold yourself there on a straightaway, but
right.
You feel more a part of the bike up there, mm-hmm. and it's comfortable enough. So really the comment is there's lots of room, but I'm not sure what it's for.
So this bike comes with the new mode selector, and that allows you to kick back the torque a little bit if you're in wet riding conditions, or you're in a tighter track condition, I guess. Did you get a chance to play with that?
I played with that when we were riding around through town as a group, and I switched to the B mode, which is the lower horsepower, I assume softer torque delivery mode, and it's noticeable. That's probably what would be ideal for city riding. It's just an easier delivery of power. Mm-hmm. On a track, you might use that on a rainy day, or you might use it on a track that's particularly tighter.
Right. What did you think of the fit and finish of this bike?
The fit on this bike is pretty spectacular, and some of the little details are really clever and really nicely finished. Just simple things like the mirrors are inside housings, and so you're adjusting only the mirror, not the whole thing. Nice little carbon fiber covers covering up the motor and actually blocking some heat from coming up on your legs.
Right.
It's really nicely done.
So what's going to be the one lasting impression?
This bike is brutally fast.
Right. Okay, well, I'll take that as a thumbs up.
Yeah, it was good.
Thanks for helping
Dave.
out.
I had fun.
Good stuff, Mark.